Hey guys, Elizabeth Quinn here with Elizabeth Scenes and Scents, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about my quarterly Scentsy haul. So my club comes January, sometimes I skip the April shipment, and then July, and then October again. And a lot of these are bars that I have been saving for several years now, and I will just get right into it and we can talk about all the goodness that's in here. First off, you can get a brick half off when you have more than $60, which I certainly did in this order. So I got a brick of sugar cookie because we don't know if this is going to be sticking around when on February 1st we lose the bar when the new catalog changeover happens. So first off, I have Stroop Waffle Delight. This is such a great bar. This came out of the catalog fall winter of 2021, and I'm so glad that I had already decided to put it in my club. It's buttery, it's a little bit nutty, it's got the tiny pinch of cinnamon, and it's just a bakery lover's dream of a bar. Just warm and rich and kind of caramely and gooey and buttery. I think this is the most butter that you can squeeze into a bar without it being yucky, and the scent is just delicious. So next we have Churro Churro. Churro Churro was mostly in spring and summer catalogs until they discontinued it a couple seasons ago. And this is just really light. It's very sweet with all that vanilla, and it's a really nice vanilla note. And then the sprinkling of cinnamon and almost that fried dough, hence the Churro Churro moniker. And so this one is a winner. It's light, it's good for mixing, and it's good in the summertime when you want bakery that doesn't overwhelm you. All right, next we have Cozy Chai. Cozy Chai is just such a classic. When it retired several seasons ago out of the catalog, I was kind of sad, but I don't think at that point I really understood Scentsy Club, or maybe they weren't even having it at that point. Oh, but this bar, I just always enjoyed melting it. So when it came back for Bring Back My Bar, I scooped it up a couple years ago and locked it in my club. So now I can have all of my chai latte goodness anytime I want. All right, next we have one of the very few fresh bars that's in my club. It's called Harbor's Edge. This is a winner. This one is a nice mix of fresh sea salt air and then some dewy greens, very like beach grass greens, and just a little bit of raspberry. I think it's supposed to be a raspberry vine, but it's such a beautiful blend. I love to melt this in the summertime and anytime I want in the laundry room or in a room that just needs some freshening up without it being heavy, heavy laundry. Next, we have one of the classics, Sweet Plum Pastry. Sweet Plum Pastry, when it came back and Bring Back My Bar, first time that I could actually get my hands on it, I scooped it up and we have 2 bars in the club. So this is just so nice. It's bubbly plum, a little bit of sort of a syrupy, spicy, not any definable spice, just a little bit of a spiciness from the plum juices and that tiny bit of crust. It is just beautiful. If this comes back in another Bring Back My Bar and you're curious, I would highly recommend that you try it. Medium throw, medium strength, but great bar. Okay, Cozy Spice. Cozy Spice was in a Cozy collection around Christmas time a few years ago. This is so nice. Where your Cozy Chai has all the different spices and a little bit more of a cinnamon note, this one is nutmeg. This one's nutmeg, and it's not quite as strong as your Cozy Chai, but it just has that very enveloping, spicy, comforting quality that you would want in your home. And this is just one I will probably never take out of my club. All right, Pistachio Ice Cream. I actually melted some of this in my last What I've Been Warming video, and this is so nice. It's the pistachio, it's got the ice cream creaminess, it's got that little bit of coconut, the nuttiness from the pistachios, and for being as sweet of a bar as it is, it throws quite well. So if this ever came back in another Bring Back My Bar, I would absolutely encourage you to try it if you like anything creamy, sweet, or nutty. Okay, Vanilla Oud. Here's my Cozy Library scent. This one is very different. It's smooth, it's heavy and deep. It's sort of a medium, dark, rich performer. And it's got vanilla and it has this very sophisticated wood note that comes from the oud, which I've never smelled, but it's just something unusual that Scentsy doesn't normally do, and I'll be keeping this in my club until I get either a huge pile or I get sick of it, which I don't see either of those happening. All right, hazelnut frosting. This is fantastic. This was in a holiday trio a few years ago. It's just such a nice scent. It has the hazelnut, a little bit of ginger, which is really what makes this bar sing, I think. And all that buttercream goodness. It's so nice. And again, a lot of these bars, I have kept them in my club because there's appeal all year long, unless they're a specifically holiday scent like the pile we'll get to next. So really, really nice. Toasted marshmallow. This one is a rock star for mixing. You can put this with around the campfire. You can put this with spice scents. You can put this with all sorts of things. And it just always makes them better. Almost always. I think if you were to mix this with lemon verbena, it'd probably be a disaster. But, I'm not advising you to do that. There is this quality to toasted marshmallow that is unique among all the bakery style bars. It's a very good performer, lasts a long time, has that toasted note, a little bit of a maltiness, and is just super good. All right, Cozy Cashmere. This almost came out of my club until we took a family vote, and there were just not enough people in favor of giving this thing the boot. So it's still here, and I do really like it. I just put Cozy Cardigan in. You won't see that in this pile because I did it after this club processed. Oh, and it's just so pretty. Cashmere and blackberries and maybe even a little bit of amber. Really nice bedroom scent. Okay, Cranberry Pumpkin Spice. This bar is now my favorite of all the pumpkin harvest fall scents that Scentsy makes. This was in the Harvest Trio. I really hope it comes in the catalog next year. This scent is very classic to me. Really reminds me of an old school Yankee melting tart. If I can get it out of the clam here. There we go. Oh, and it just relaxes me. There's this cozy, I don't know, I could just smell this bar all day. It's the balance of the cranberry and the pumpkin and a little bit of spices. It's a little bit sweet, not too sweet, little bit tart, not too tart. Just one of my now all-time favorite bars. Cranberry Pumpkin Spice, total winner for me. All right, Brown Sugar Praline. This was another holiday trio scent. And this one is another one I've been debating, do I keep it? This smells like a coffee shop to me, like a coffee shop full of wonderful, warm, sugary pastries and baked goods meeting the coffee smell. There isn't a coffee note in the description, but it's got the brown sugar, it's got the nuttiness from the pecan pralines, and it just gives you that satisfied feeling when you melt it, and it's super comforting. Decent performer too for being a bakery bar. All right, we're almost down with my gold standard never get rid of them pile. All right, White Sands. This is an amazing bar. If you've never gotten to smell this, the notes that are in it include something like rice or rice milk. Don't get scared. This is beautiful. This is a summer, romantic, smooth, gentle, amazing masterpiece of a scent. You put this in a bedroom, or you'd need to use a few cubes if you wanted to put it out in a more open concept room. Extremely relaxing, extremely elegant. Get yourself some if you can ever find it. Great bar. Okay, and then one more that maybe by next fall I might take this out of my club is Farmhouse Fur. Now, I love this. I love so many fir and balsam and pine smells. Oh, so hard for me. What I really like about this one is that it's less just Christmas and more all fall winter, or at least for someone like me who's addicted to any of those different notes. It has the fir, it's got, I think, grapefruit and maybe even a little bit of cinnamon or something. I don't remember. It's gentle and it's warm and it's sweet, unlike some of the other bars that are coming that are newer additions that I threw in around Christmas time. Farmhouse Fur. If you don't like your iced pine or your very snowy spruce, although this leans more sweet like very snowy spruce, or the new one, Mighty Pine, if those offend you, Farmhouse Fur, which, you can't get it right now, but maybe in a Bring Back My Bar in the future, really, really nice scent for people who don't want a heavy, sharp evergreen. Okay, now the next pile are things that I put in for the holiday season of the end of 2021. So these are bars that passed the test for me that I think I will be keeping, and I do have a couple in here that might be for friends where they really liked it, but they didn't want to commit to a club kind of a thing, and now that I'm a consultant, I sort of feel responsible for them, although I'd be happy to melt them too, so. We'll see how this goes. So one of those is Black Forest Pine. Now, I got the consultant kit. I'm set for a while with this, but this bar is amazing. It's so complex. Oh, this is so good. This makes me want to just go melt it today, which I probably shouldn't because it's almost the end of January, but oh, this has peppered tangerine. It's got smoky vanilla. It's got all that pine and I think maybe some balsam and fir. Oh, this is an all winter scent again, not just Christmas specific. So nice if you live in a cold climate and you love your evergreen scents. This is a total winner and definitely unique. It's got a different profile than any other bar of this type that Scentsy's ever made. And then right on the heels of all that is my other new favorite, which is Mighty Pine. Oh, this is so good. Now this one I would say is very specific Thanksgiving through the first of the year, and then I'd be done. Because boy, does this smell Christmassy to me. Oh, but it's so good. It's got the pine, it's got a little bit of lavender, which it still reads Christmassy somehow. And all this fresh air. And it is, I think it's because it makes it very cold smelling, but not in a harsh way, just crisp. And this is a performer, man. This thing will knock you right out of the house if you put in too many cubes. So Mighty Pine is a winner. The only way this or Black Forest Pine will come out of the club is if they end up in the catalog next fall. Fabulous, fabulous tree scent. Okay, Scary Good. Now, Scary Good is the only pumpkin spice scent that Scentsy has made where I feel like they kind of get some of that Bath & Body Works Sweet Cinnamon Pumpkin, which this isn't exactly the same because there's all this extra toasted butterscotch in here. But the reason that I clubbed it, I love this thing, is because I really miss, I do not burn candles anymore. Sometimes I'll scoop and melt an old one, but the throw is just not great because it's not meant to do that. I just really miss some of those old standards from Bath & Body Works. And even though this has that extra smoky, like caramely, toffee, butterscotch, that's it, butterscotch note, it's got enough pumpkin spice to really satisfy my desire for that, and it is a very good performer. So either I'm going to get a stack of this and then pull it, or I would really think this will come back in the fall. We'll see. I think enough people love this, and it was enough different than most of the other pumpkin smells that Scentsy's got that I'm thinking we'll probably see this again. Anyway, for now, I have some in here. Oh, mulled cider and spice. This is so good. This thing is a powerhouse. Ugh. This is like Cider Mill went and got a huge puffy red dress for Christmas with big sparkles all over it. And it is just like va-va-voom Cider Mill. Oh, this is so nice. It's got this, I think, blood orange or some other orange and mulling spices on top of the cider that makes it just amazing. And I will be really looking forward to melting this again. Unfortunately, it is Christmassy specific, so I don't feel like I should melt it right now, but this is a very good, very dramatic bar for your space. Okay, now these are newer additions. I haven't had these at all before in here. Hendrix, which is a Bring Back My Bar from right now, January 2022. I used to have a bar of this years ago. I love this scent. If there was a Scentsy heartbreak before I knew Scentsy heartbreak should be a thing, it was when I lost Hendrix, my last bar, and realized I couldn't get any more. And that was way back when I didn't really understand the cycles of the catalogs and everything. Oh, this is so good. That's right there. As soon as I got this today and I got these out and they warmed up, I plunked a cube in there, and there's a cube in the front room. Pink peppercorn, tobacco flower, patchouli, sandalwood. The warmth from this bar, even though it's masculine, it doesn't have any of those harsh cold notes that I don't care for in cologne smells. This thing is totally warm, totally inviting. And yes, if you do not like hippie style cologne scents, you aren't going to want to deal with this. But this thing, Midnight Fig, World Traveler, and Boho all in different places in my house, definitely a good night for me. Okay, and then Sweet Orange Pomander. Now I have 2 bricks of this scent, but I absolutely fell in love with this. And I can't see that enough people liked that brick for me to take the chance to not be able to get it for forever. So thankfully, with those holiday bricks, they provide a service where you can throw a bar or however many bars you want into your club. Or if you have a club and you don't want to buy a gigantic brick at the holiday time, you can put bars of all of them in your club. So this will be staying. Absolutely beautiful spice scent. Not a lot of orange, just a little. But I'll probably melt this October through March. And, more heavily November and December, because this does feel a little bit holiday, but not so much so that you couldn't get away with it as just a nice, solid, cozy spice scent all year long. So those are all of the bars that are definitely staying, unless I get too big of a stack of them because I get disinterested, which could happen. I have 2 here that are for my older daughter. I don't particularly care for these. This one is Fresh Cut Daisies, but she just fell in love with this in the last Bring Back My Bar in the summer. It's extremely strong. It is very unique. I think maybe in the spring I would melt a cube or 2 of this. This thing has so many different notes, I can't even tell you what's in here, except there are daisies, and I think maybe buttercups, and I don't know, grass, and there's all sorts of stuff going on. It makes for a very powerful, crisp, fresh spring scent. So yes, it is very nice. It's just not something I would reach for very much. And then her other favorite is Jaden Jasmine. And I do not get along with this bar. Whew! It's so strong. And it's very, very cologne-y. And it has kind of a green, but not grassy green. It's got this other greenness that I can't even put my finger on. That at one point I was telling a friend about it, and I mean no disrespect to people who like their Jaden Jasmine, please don't be offended, but it just reminds me of when middle school boys discover cologne. There's just so much coming out of this bar at one time. So anyway, those are all the bars that are staying, or I will evaluate my stash and then make a decision. The rest of them are bars that are no longer in my club. So the first one, I wanted to get an extra Olaf warm hugs for my kids. I can't smell much of anything in this bar. It's incredibly light. It's very delicate. If I could get enough throw out of it, I'm sure it would be good. But they really, really wanted a little bit more. And I don't know whether this will be reissued next Christmas or not. So now we have almost 2 full bars to satisfy them for next year. And their bedrooms are small, so it performs just well enough to justify having a bar of this for them. Okay, Orchard Apple and Spice. Now, it isn't that I do not love this. I do love this. But how many bars of it do I need? Oh, this is just such a nice balance of cherry and apple and woodiness. But this will make 2 or 3 full bars and then a partial bar. And I'm only going to melt this probably September, October every year, or even August, September every year. So I'm kind of banking on maybe seeing this in the catalog next fall. So, probably won't happen and I'll regret pulling it. But I did, because you can only have so many bars. All right, I also pulled Joy and Wonder, so I put all 3 of the Christmas holiday trio from 2021 in my club to start with. This is an amazing bar, but it's very, very strong, and I know I won't need tons and tons of it, and I also love spiced berries. I was actually melting both of them today, trying to figure out which one I like better. Can't figure out which one I like better because they're just enough different. Spiced berries has more incense and a little more sweetness, and this is more like mulled wine and deep, dark berries and deep, dark cinnamon. So I like them both. I have such trouble with indecision with wax. But I do think, for as strong as this is, that 3 full bars will do me for a good long time. Okay, we're almost done, guys. So I saved the last 2 bars. I hate coconut cotton. The rest of my family hates Palo Santo. So neither of them are still in the club. This is my 3rd bar of Palo Santo. Now I know this is a shocker, but I love this bar. Ah, it's like the good, toasty, smoky quality. And I know people are probably writhing around in their seats as I pull this thing out. Oh, it's so good. If any of you drink Lapsang Souchong tea, this is like that tea, but in a bar. I have a friend, my best friend, cannot stand anything smoky. She had gone to Africa and had been served a cup of tea over an open fire as a teenager on a mission trip where all that smoke got into her tea. Scarred her palate for life. She cannot go anywhere near this sort of thing, but I love it. So, and then coconut cotton. My daughters both have it melting currently. That's why there are 2 cubes missing. I don't know what it is about this, but just like I said in my first Bring Back My Bar review, where I was only going on memory, this thing and I don't get along. There's something about the sandalwood and the coconut. Those 2 things together smell spoiled or rancid to me. I cannot stand it. So, I will let them melt it because I'm trying to be considerate. Everyone's scent preferences are different. The rest of them hate this and I melt this. So anyway, that's what's in my club. That's a lot of bars. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. There's like 30 bars in here. And I have already cut the ones that I said we're leaving and then replaced that with some of the Bring Back My bars. And it's just a revolving door. But that first group that I shared with you, that first stack before I kind of broke and went on to the next ones, those are the core scents that pretty much just stay put because I love them all. And a lot of them are bakery, a lot of them are spice. And it's fantastic that we have this service from Scentsy called Scentsy Club so that we can continue to collect and enjoy things that are no longer available. Hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.